One simple trick to keep your barrel elevated. Presented by G.I. Gary of Pino Comics. So Falcon's crew is having a problem with the main cannon elevating on his Night Force Night Blaster, and he has no choice but to have Sneak Peek call in to have help to get the machine fixed and ready to roll for the next mission. Normally there is a ratcheting action for the main cannon, so this will lock into places along its elevation. However, when I acquired this Night Blaster, these two orange pieces here on the main cannon were not snapped together properly by the child or adult, and they weren't fitting properly. So what it ended up doing was it caused the plastic in the main body inside here to stretch, and it took me some fiddling to figure out why it wouldn't work, and I came up with an easy solution to fixing the problem. So first off, we're going to take off the main cannon, and I'll show you where the problem lies. All right. So as you can see, the ratcheting mechanism right here. So this plastic tab, and I'll zoom in, is supposed to lock into place. And as you can't hear any locking. Normally there's an audible click for locking into place. However, I found when going, like I said, playing with it, like I said, the feet tend to come off too. But when you squeeze this, so I squeeze this, and then hopefully you can pick that up. You can hear click, 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 click. So it's nice, it's steady, and it holds in place. And if you're like, oh, just... So what I found, what I was doing was as I was troubleshooting it, so I would try to apply pressure right here, and it would lock, but it wasn't the true cause. It was actually the fact that this was spread out over the course of 30 years. So I had to come up with a solution that was, in my opinion, not permanent to the toy, but still made the toy serve its purpose. I created this aluminum bracket. I milled it. I have access to a knee mill, and just made something with, and then I used some set screws, and yeah, I used some set screws. And if you can see, they're flat point, actually called the dog point in this case. They're extended with a flat. This way, when I screw them in and out using the Allen wrench, and I'm just going to use an Allen bit here just for expediency, you can see it screws it in and out, so I can adjust the tension against the main cannon. And what that will allow me to do is keep it elevated and also not permanently damage the toy. Now, interesting notes is I used a 1032 screw, and the bracket itself is 281 thousandths thick, which is 32nd over a 1/4 inch. So that would be a 9/32 thick. Radius the ends on the belt sander just to give me a little more inward, because if you look inside this, and I'll try to get it in there, you can see that little divot in there. So what I'm trying to do is fit it in there and create a nice squeeze action. The distance from here to here is 1.67 inches, which is just a little under 1 inch and 13/16. And I'll show you how it works. It's pretty easy, and it's pretty good. So I'll just screw the set screws out, so they're under flush. And what I'm going to do is just put one, because one of them is actually kind of hard to get at inside. Just keep a little bit out, just a little bit. I'm just turning out just a little bit, feeling it to be just a little protruding, like so. The other one's flat, so I'm gonna take the foot out, and then I'm going to push it in. And as you can see, it's tight fit. It's because I want it to be a tight fit. And come on, there we go. Yep, there you go. So right now it's underneath. So you can see it's underneath. It's fitting in nice. and trying not to get my head in the way of the shot. But now I'm just going to go in with the other Allen, other side. As you can see, just put it in, and I'm just turning it with my thumbs. Doesn't need a lot of pressure, it just needs enough to hold the gun in place. And like I said, I'm using a flat point. Oh boy, this is tight. And yeah, screwing in it gently, and I don't have really a lot of range of motion with my big fingers. And that's where we're at. Let's take a peek. So you can see it's in there, and it's not coming out. I'm giving it a little friction fit. I mean, it could pull out if I pulled really hard, but I don't want to do that. I want it to stay in there. So I'm going to extend the feet out, and like I said, you know, the Night Blaster is one of the still affordable vehicles in the Night Force line. Still have to be collected, and by affordable I mean it's not the level of, let's say, a Night Boomer or the Whale. But as you can see now, just applying a little pressure, just squeezing it in, and you can see I'm just going there and there and there. So one thing to notice with this in position, so you can see it's right up against that, but when you flip this over on its feet, you can see it's just underneath, and I just gotta, it just protrudes a little bit. You can see it's, when you hold this level, it's just sticking out about a quarter of an inch. And I try to keep it as minimal as possible, so this way when the feet are up, and also the other thing is, it's not really finished yet because I left it silver for contrast in the video, is that when the feet go up, you can see it's right underneath. So it goes back into the Night Blaster base, and give it a little love. It still doesn't fit too well in here. It still doesn't fit a little too great in here, but with it in, and I'll just elevate it a little bit, it still can, if I chose to swivel this left or right, stage right, stage left, you know, it still works. And like I said, now it rests level, and I can elevate it, and it ratchets as it was originally designed. Overall, I'm happy to get the Night Force Night Blaster back into fighting shape with a little ingenuity and a little fabrication, while not permanently altering the vehicle. And it looks great, and I can't wait to dive into it more at a later time.